Good morning. Hand today is going to be 9-8 at clubs. We are full ring. We're technically in early position EP3, even though Poker Tracker has this as part of mid position play. So, folds to me, I open raise. I think this is pretty easy. Open raise. It is near the bottom of our range, but it's one of these hands where we can raise or fold. And just always looking at ways to try to increase the number of hands that I'm playing. So I raise this. I'm going to be out of position. When we look at players, nothing seems to stand out. These players look to be a little bit loose. This player's loose, and that's about it. So I take 8-9 of clubs right to the flop with this. So I have two callers, of course, two looser callers. This guy's playing 44-14. Of the two guys, I think this is going to be much looser, even though he's at 37-23. We only have 30 hands. So starting with this guy, the notes we have called 2 bets from blinds, and that's about it. We have a 3-bet range of queens, aces, and ace king, so I think probably queens plus. That's going to be his 3-bet range. And then I targeted something about 35%. So he's playing close to 40. And when you look at the called 2 bets, it's, it just kind of depends on where he is. Overall, it's at 47%. 3 bets are pretty low. So I went with a range that's like this. I gave him, these offsuit. I mean, we could go more. We could give him the offsuit aces as well, but this is probably a little conservative. This guy, on the other hand, no way. We still need, we got 3-bet range, call 2 bets from the barn. This is important. We got 5s, king, jack, king, 9, 10, 7. So I'm not even going to look at the stats. You've got 10, 7, king, 9. That tells us we've got some junk offsuit hands. And if he's got the offsuit, then he has the equivalent suited. So I went on, this is 60%. I'm going to assume he would be raising like the same queens plus ace king. In this case, and maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's sometimes he raises, sometimes he doesn't. But this is 10 NL. So we go to a flop. We see 6-5-3, 6 spades, 5 of clubs, 3 diamonds. A lot of junky hands. 3-way. We have a gut shot. This is probably going to be a bet for us. So villain 2 checks. When we look at all of the hands that we could have, we're looking at possibly having an open ender, having the gut shot, 1 and 2 card gut shots. I think we would be betting those. And that's 13%, and that means we're betting like our set. We're probably betting our over pairs as well. We're still way too much on the over pairs, so we know we have 7s that we're including here. 8s, maybe not 9s, probably not 9s. I think are going to be a check. So 7s, 8s would be bets, and those would be like in our gut shot range. So then it's like all the rest would be maybe like aces and kings. We're betting. I'd say queens plus. We're gonna have to still come up with more of these. So this part then, like 2 card backdoor flush draw. I think we're looking at an ace 4, ace 5. Yeah, ace 4, ace 5. Probably betting those. 7, 6. I don't know, probably 8, 7. 7, 6. Those all have back. Maybe those, something like that. 2-card backdoor flush draw. I think I would be betting something like that. 35%. That could be a little too wide too. But I bet half pot. I think this is probably going larger, 2/3 pot. It's probably what we would need. We have all of our overpairs still. I don't think these players have queens, kings, or aces. This is rather dry. They also have a much wider range than we do. So I kind of feel like the bet sizing probably should have been a little bit larger. So we bet this guy calls. This is interesting. We will give him like all pairs that he would call with, along with your open enders, and maybe I guess we'll give him the gut shots here. So 45%. This guy checks and then raises, and doesn't even raise a large amount. So what would he raise with? Probably not the draws. I'm sure we've got a raise flop C bet. Yeah, maybe a set, 2-pair, overpair, top pair. I mean, this is a fairly dry board. Maybe he gets out of line with middle pair plus. So maybe just that, middle pair plus. It's not even large. And that's the thing. It's not even a large bet. So if he bets and it comes back to us, what do? We were already making our C bet. So here I kind of feel like we are looking at we're going to be folding some of these hands. Like we're not going to be afraid to fold our 2-card backdoor flush draws. I think that's okay. I don't think we can get rid of our overpairs or our sets. I think we're still calling, and actually I'd be hesitant to raise with our sets. If we just call, we're probably getting this guy into. So I think overpaired sets, and then it comes down to the draws. What are our draws? We have would we call with a gut shot? Maybe. Yeah, because we're still going to be in position. So I do think we're calling those. And then this player, I think he's calling the same thing. His range did not narrow. Jack of diamonds comes out. That did not help us. At least with our hand, we're going to probably just going to check at this point. I think, though, we would be betting our set. Possibly our overpair at this point. Once he bet, we're attacking. Probably his most likely. He had the lead. I think he would have continued betting the straight. I think he would have continued betting the set. Probably 2-pair as well. So at this point, I'm putting him on something like that. Just go. I think he's looking something weak like that. So then it comes back to us. Once he checks, yeah, I think we bet our set, and then I think we bet our overpair. And then that gives us, I think, that's a lot of hands. I think that's kind of what we're looking at. And then of course we'll need some like really weak hands. So it's probably pretty decent. I didn't bet, and that's a mistake. So that our hand didn't improve, other than our gut shot. That we maintained. Our hand didn't improve, so I just checked behind. I guess I didn't realize at the time how many of these overpairs we actually have, how many combos of overpairs we have, because if we're going to be betting those, now we're betting those. Hold on. Let's go back to here. Set and overpair is what we were betting. Yeah, so I would have included that 8-9 in as part of our checking range. So I do think flush draw we would be betting. Our open ender we would be betting. So maybe the gut shot we don't. Maybe the gut shot's still part of our checking hand. So, okay, I could kind of take it. Still part of our checking hand. This guy checks behind. We're just going to leave everything in here. Although I do feel like a player like this, he doesn't seem to be overly aggressive. I do think a straight would be betting. Maybe not the set because people get scared. So the queen of clubs comes out. We completely miss. Villain checks. Yeah, I think I think he's looking at something weak like that. Could we get him to fold? We could definitely probably lead this here as a bluff. Go for a little bit of value. Yeah, just something like that. We could probably bet. I checked again, not terrible because we are multi-way. This player checks behind. He's gonna be overly weak. We have no pair. That was our shot to win, was with a bet. So we show down our hands. He has 10-7 and he shows king 9 for the king high. So raise flop t-bet with overpair or less and no draw. No way do I have king 9 in his hand. He just flat out bluffed on it, so completely missed it. We did have him with a gut shot with the 10-7-4, so that kind of makes sense. This guy, though, I guess we're going to have to just really take some notes on him. So pre-flop, call, EP3, 3 big blind, RFI, actually overcall. In big blind with king of diamonds, 9 of spades, out of position, check raised, min bet, min raise. Check raise, min raise, then checked and checked on a, let's see here, 6 of spades, 5 clubs, 3 diamonds, jack of diamonds, queen of clubs. Okay. Got that saved. He was the hard, the blind was the harder one. So he called EP3, 3 big blind, RFI in cutoff with 10-7 of hearts. He is in position. Call. Check. There we go. I'll do this. Call. Okay. So how do I think it played? let's go back to the flop. Flop, larger sizing. We do have a note on him now. We can see that he did check raise us with that king 9, which is sick. But he did it because this board's unlikely to hit us. We do have a hand that connected, so I think 2/3 would have been a little bit stronger. Maybe he calls. This guy probably calls with gut shot. He made the min raise. Well, not quite 940. I think it's close enough to a min raise. I guess that's probably like a third, maybe half pot. Let's see. Pull our calculator over here. So 4.7 times 3 plus 4.7 plus 9.5, 28 divided by 10.9, or 10.9 over 28. Let's say it's about 38, 40%. Okay, I guess I could do check raise about, we'll say 38%. Yeah, so I think going larger would have been okay. I think the calls okay is fine too. Once he checks, I think we could attack. We could really represent that we have an overpair or set here. I don't think I would have necessarily raised the set in this spot. We would bet. I don't think I would raise because this guy's coming along. GTO probably says we should raise. Chance that you have ace 4. I mean, that's like one hand. But he does have it. So I think I missed out on taking down the pot here on the turn. I think once I check the turn and the queen comes out, it's going to be skeptical whether or not I could bet, but that could have also been another play. We went check, and then it was 2 cards that really would help our range and connect with us, because I can't imagine either player just playing, just Broadway cards, on the flop, or check raising with just Broadway cards. He did with a king 9, but it's hard to assume that that's what they would play. So I think we had the opportunity to bet, to be aggressive once everyone else checked. Of course, I would just be concerned with this guy's, what is he calling with? Could I get him to fold? Because once he check raises and then checks the turn, it's suggesting that he has a weak hand. So hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another one.